But I am really happy today to have a person who's been kind of part of my life, well, maybe since he was born even, but we've had a little bit of a parallel. He's kind of the younger brother that my parents didn't gift me with, but and now he's a mayor, so I'm going to welcome the mayor, but let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a lifelong resident of Manatee County. Our grandmas lived across the street from each other when we were growing up. In 1987, graduated Palmetto High School. He grew up involved in 4-H. I feel like I'm reading about myself, except for that 87 part. Mine was a little bit earlier than that. Dan's a graduate of the University of Florida. He has a bachelor's degree in agronomy, so I'll share that, and also ag extension. And he was just elected as the mayor of the city of Palmetto. We're really proud of that. We can clap for that, yes. But Dan was also the manager of the Manatee County Fair. He was a teacher at Palmetto High School in the ag program. He has lots of experiences in agriculture from growing. He collects tractors. There's lots of things where he's connected to agriculture, not just by blood. And so I'm going to welcome Dan to Mayor West, the Honorable Mayor West, to come forward and take control of our meeting and guide us through the events of the day. Dan.
Brenda neglected to mention about the dog that we shared, a precious pup. That was the dog that my grandmother had, and then it went to live with Brenda's grandmother for the remainder of its time. So thank you very much, Brenda. But I will say, I got to thank Mrs. Haley also. I don't know if she's still in here. This is my wife's birthday's coming up, and I got to get her one of those mugs. Because since I'm an agronomist, I didn't know they had those out there available, so that's what she's getting as one of her gifts. So that will definitely happen. So thank you very much for that. And thank you all for being here today. This is always a wonderful event each year to just all come together and just celebrate. This time of the year, it's our bountiful harvest here in Manatee County and all over Florida. Heck, I was up in Jackson County, Florida a few weeks ago, and I'm going to tell you what, they were rolling the tractors, digging peanuts like you would not believe. And right now, you're seeing tomato trucks coming from out east, heading to the packing houses in Palmetto. So there's a lot of things going on right now this time of the year. So it's a great time. We're coming up to Thanksgiving, and we just celebrate and thank the Lord for the bountiful harvest that we have here in Manatee and in the state of Florida and across this whole great country of ours. So thank you all for being here today. You know, agriculture continues to be a major contributor to the economy of Manatee County, with approximate market value of agricultural sales of $360 million. More than 213,000 acres, or 37% of Manatee County land, is used for production agriculture, which includes vegetable crops, livestock, forage, citrus and ornamentals, and other types of products. In Manatee County, production agriculture also includes commercial fishing and marine aquaculture, with almost 9 million pounds of fresh fish and seafood entering the market annually. The first Manatee County Farm City Week celebration, I think this was alluded to earlier, was sponsored by the Bradenton Kiwanis Club in 1955. And this has been a tradition that's been continued and supported by the Bradenton Kiwanis for the last 70 years. I think we should give the Bradenton Kiwanis a round of applause. So this year's Farm City Week celebration theme will be "It's Keeping Ag Alive in 2025." To educate local residents with an emphasis on youth on the importance, the value, and the career opportunities found in the global agriculture, food and fiber, and natural resource systems. The Farm City Week Committee supports the Keeping Ag Alive in 2025's theme by contributing to educational opportunities for students. These activities include Ag Venture, which is going to take place tomorrow and the next 2 days at the fairgrounds, where they're going to have probably around 1,200 grade school children out there learning about agricultural awareness. Essay and speech contests have been had, and the Beef Workshop and Prospect Show, which prepares youth to show livestock at the Manatee County Fair, is coming up as well. So there's a lot that goes into planning this entire celebration. Before I go any further, I would like to introduce, and I want you to stand up where you are, individuals that have been our agriculturalist of the year in prior years. So if you will stand up and just keep standing. Mr. Cliff Coddington, he's in the back. I can see him. Mr. Cliff, go ahead and stand up. From 2021, we got Miss Brenda Rogers from 2009. Mr. Irving Shannon, where are you at, Irvin? Right over here. Thank you. 2012. Mr. Jim Parks. I know I saw you, Mr. Parks. Where are you? There he is in the back there. Mr. Cully Rowell, right there. Hey, Mr. Rowell. And then beside him is Mr. John Hamilton. Mr. Ralph Garrison. And I know that I saw Mr. Alberg and his wife come in. Where are you at, Mr. Alberg? Mr. Richard Alberg. There he is right there. Thank you. And then Priscilla Trace. Priscilla's right there. Hey, Priscilla. Good to see you. Miss Karen Bell. Where are you at, Miss Bell? There she is right here. And I know Jimmy Keene and his wife Holly came in. Where's Jimmy? There you are in the back. And then last but not least, Mr. Cameron Dakin. I got you. And one more, Mr. Hugh Taylor is in the back. He slipped in without me seeing him. Mr. Taylor, good to see you today. Thank you all very much for coming today. Thank you. Okay, so also at this time, I would like all of our elected officials to stand and be recognized. We're so glad to have you here. Mr. Mayor Brown, thank you so much. And we'll get county commissioners here. Miss Angel Coloniso's here. Mr. Charlie Hagney's here somewhere. I saw him. So thank you all for being here with us today. I would also like to have everybody that had anything to do with Farm City Week's committees, please stand. And let's give them a round of applause for everything that they've done to prepare this event. And also every year it's a special treat to have the Leadership Manatee class attend this event. I know that tomorrow they're going out on their farm tours. So this is a great opportunity to come in and just hear a little bit about some of what the individuals have done in the past to make our agricultural industry as successful as it has been. So thank you all for being here today. Let's give them all a round of applause. Okay, so at this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Kelly Kennedy from Manatee County School District. She's going to come up. She is the chairman of the Farm City Week Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Kelly Kennedy, and I have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the 2025 Farm City Week Committee. While there are many people and commodities that could be highlighted as being instrumental in creating the foundation for the diverse agricultural environment that we enjoy in Manatee County, today, this year, the committee chose to highlight the importance of keeping ag alive in 2025, particularly in Manatee County. It's my privilege to represent the members of the Farm City Week Committee that you've already seen, that includes some of the most involved farmers, ranchers, nurserymen, and community leaders in our county. They make my job of the Farm City Week Committee chair very easy. The members of this committee are an integral part of the success of all the Farm City Week activities that you've already heard about. And I can't tell you what an honor it is to chair this committee. Keeping ag alive in 2025 has many avenues and opportunities, and it might look different for each person in this room. It may be buying local or looking for that Fresh from Florida logo at your local supermarket. It might be advocating at the local, state, or national level on issues that are important to farmers and ranchers. It might be sponsoring that classroom garden at your child's elementary school. It could even be buying a swine or steer at the Manatee County Fair in January, which we hope you'll all come and do. If each person in this room were to commit to just one small act to support ag, we could have a huge impact on the future of agriculture in our county. But for me, agriculture is personal. I'm fortunate to work as the Assistant Director of Career and Technical Education, and as part of my job, I have some oversight of the middle and high school agriculture programs in the school district. So I want to tell you a little bit about that. It's rare to find a district where ag programs are being added, but Manatee is the exception. We currently teach some form of agriculture in animal science, horticulture, vet assisting, and agritechnology at 6 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 K-8, and 1 elementary school, impacting more than 3,500 students, and we hope that will continue to expand in the future. Our school board has also supported ag education by endorsing the agriculture curriculum frameworks for kindergarten through 5th grade, which we've submitted to the state for approval. I mentioned that we have 1 elementary school that is teaching agriculture, and that's Mayaca City Elementary. It was one of the first elementary schools in the state of Florida to teach ag and has become a model for ag programs all over the state. We're also excited that for the first time, 4th and 5th graders at Harvey North River Ranch are getting exposure to ag this year. We know that this early exposure helps students strengthen their understanding of key science principles and underpins the work that is going on in their other core classes. Our ag students across all levels learn about the latest innovations in STEM and other academic pursuits, while also exploring career interests, preparing for the future, and making a positive difference in the lives of those around them. Because of students who are involved in agriculture, we know that agriculture will continue to innovate, automate, and grow more food on less land than ever before. One of the reasons for that adaptability is support that our ag programs get from their career and technical student organizations, or CTSOs. The FFA organization, while no longer called Future Farmers of America, their mission is to provide premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. And that, regardless of their name, that plan remains the same. There's an old saying about FFA that it's more than cows, plows, and sows. That statement is very true. FFA is a co-curricular organization that comes alongside what is happening in the agriculture classroom and gives students the opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in science, business, technology, and beyond. These are things that they will need to become productive citizens and informed consumers, whether or not they ever pursue a career in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, our county is in good hands, thanks in part to the financial leadership that this Kiwanis Club has provided to our agriculture students. And I want to say a personal thank you for that. As Dan has already mentioned, this year's Farm City Week has been packed with activities. Prior to today, our students have written essays and given speeches. Our 4-H and FFA organizations participated in the Bradenton Public Market this past Saturday with plants, rabbits, and even a calf. We've taken the public on a tour of agriculture in West Bradenton, and tomorrow and Thursday we will host nearly 2,000 third graders at the fairgrounds for our Ag Venture Day that exposes them to various aspects of agriculture and helps them understand where their food comes from. It's not just Publix. Part of that exposure, we will teach them about bees, watersheds, forest fires, tomato growing, and my personal favorite, how to make butter, and where that comes from. Our county 4-H and FFA students have a large role in helping make this day a success by serving as group leaders and presenters. And tomorrow, Leadership Manatee will participate in their Ag Day. I'm a personal fan of that, class of 1999. And on Friday, we will induct DM Courtney into the Manatee County Ag Hall of Fame. The culminating activity of our week will be Saturday's Bees Prospect Show and Workshop. But today's big event is finding out who will be the 2025 Agriculturalist of the Year. Thanks so much for being here today, and thank you for helping to keep ag alive in 2025.
Kelly, on behalf of the Bradenton Kiwanis, Brenda and I would like to present you a check for $6,000 for this year's Farm City Week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. We really appreciate you and all your committee and what they've done to make this week so extraordinary every year. Okay. We have got a guest speaker today, and I would like to just take a moment, just let you know that this young person, I shouldn't call her a young person, I've known her for a long time.
You can call me young.
She's young. She's young. She's a young person. But I'm just thrilled to have her here today. We know when we reached out to see if we could get somebody from the Florida Farm Bureau, she was the first one that came to my mind. Over the last 12 years, I've had the pleasure of serving on the Florida Farm Bureau Board of Directors, and this person is a joy to work with and so very knowledgeable. So I'm so glad that she is here to speak to you today about agriculture in Manatee County and beyond in the state of Florida. Ms. Jamie Geralds is the Senior Director of Policy and Outreach at the Florida Farm Bureau Federation. Jamie previously served for 11 years in the Agricultural Policy Department, most recently serving as its director. In her new position, she manages the agricultural policy, local government and community affairs, and public relations departments. She serves these three teams as well as assisting with policy development, policy implementation, industry relations, branding, messaging, and professional development. Jamie is a graduate of the University of Florida, yes, and holds a bachelor's degree in agricultural communication and leadership development. She is raised in Levy County on a peanut and beef cattle farm. Jamie is the 5th generation of her family with a love for agriculture. She lives on her family's farm in Bronson with her husband Lent, daughters Savannah and Claire Vivian, and sons Lash, Stetson, and Sterling. Together they own J2 Cattle LLC, a cow-calf operation in Levy County, Marion County, and also Hillsborough County, so they cover a lot of areas. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ms. Jamie Geralds.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Dan. I appreciate very much the opportunity to be with you today about a subject that is not just central to our economy, but to our identity, our landscape, and our future, and that is the agriculture industry in Manatee County. Farm City Week is celebrated the week leading into Thanksgiving. This week highlights the partnerships between farmers and our urban communities, recognizing the beneficial relationships that contribute to a safe and abundant food supply. As Mr. Dan said, my name is Jamie Geralds. I serve as the Senior Director of Policy and Outreach at Florida Farm Bureau. My main responsibilities include the oversight of policy development and implementation strategies at the legislative and regulatory levels. I also am responsible to ensure that we communicate those actions with our membership through a multitude of media outlets. I've had the pleasure of working alongside Mr. West for the past 12 years as he served on the Florida Farm Bureau Board of Directors. And I can say with assurances that you have a gem working for you. This man is without a doubt a superstar, and I am blessed to work alongside him and call him my friend, as I know you are as well. So thank you, Mr. Dan, for the invitation today. When most people think of Manatee County, they imagine beautiful Gulf waters, vibrant communities, and a growing economy. But behind all of that, quietly and consistently, stands one of the most strongest agricultural regions in the state of Florida and the United States. Agriculture in Manatee County is more than farmland. It's a major economic engine. Farms are among the top producers of tomatoes, ornamental plants, a variety of winter vegetables, and cattle that feed families across the U.S. Every acre tilled, every crop harvested, every herd cared for contributes to thousands of jobs, from farm workers and truck drivers to equipment suppliers, food processors, and local businesses that rely on agricultural activity. But the impact doesn't stop with the economy. Agriculture helps preserve the character of Manatee County. Green space, open land, and working farms help to maintain ecological balance, supports wildlife habitat, and protects water quality. Farmers are among the original stewards of the land, practicing conservation and adapting innovations that make farming more sustainable and resilient. Still, agriculture faces its fair share of challenges. Rising production costs, competition from imported products, labor shortages, and unpredictable markets. These pressures threaten not only individual farms, but the long-term security of our local food systems. And that is why your choice, consumer choices, matter more today than ever before. The sustainability of agriculture doesn't just depend on our land or your consumer choices. The sustainability of agriculture depends on the sustainability of its people. And that is why Florida Farm Bureau partnered with the University of Florida IFAS Center for Leadership and the Mind Your Melon Foundation to conduct the first ever Mind Your Melon Farmer Wellbeing Survey, which was a farmer-focused mental health survey in the state of Florida. It was the first of its kind. The survey collected data on prominent stressors in agriculture, coping mechanisms, different perceptions of mental health, and the types of support that farmers and ranchers are willing to accept. Our goal of this research was to bring awareness to a very serious topic, to inform decision makers of specific resources that are needed to meet producers where they are, with what they have, and the types of support they are willing to receive. This data collected results and showed that 67% of Florida's farmers and ranchers feel sad or depressed one or more times in the past 3 months. 9% of them have thoughts of dying by suicide at least once in the past 3 months. Farming is a very stressful business. That stress is driven by things that they cannot control. This research resulted in a showing of top 5 stressors. 1, the lack of public understanding of agriculture. 2, natural disasters and weather and their effects on the farm. 3, balancing work and home life. I know each of you probably have experienced that as well. And 4, saving for retirement. Now, when faced with those obstacles and having those feelings and emotions, what types of support will they accept? This research showed us that farmers and ranchers will accept social and recreational groups, counseling through their church or their clergy, and telehealth counseling or consultants. I wanted to share this information with you today to ask that as a consumer, that you give your local farmers and ranchers some grace. You show them some trust. They work tirelessly to provide for not only their own families, but for you and I. It is an extremely difficult industry, but they continue to do it because they love it. They love the land, and they love growing things. I implore you to do your research, not just trust information we may see on social media, to love one another and to be kind. If you ever come into contact with someone struggling with mental health, one way to help them is to focus on engaging their 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. Engaging their 5 senses grounds them in the present moment. These grounding techniques help individuals feel more stable and present during a mental health crisis. It's important to remember, when faced with such a situation, that you approach it with empathy and support, and to encourage them to seek professional help. Every time you buy locally for your produce, choose American-raised food, or support a local agricultural business, you are supporting a person, a family, a community. You are casting a vote for food security, a vote for the sustainability of the American farmer, a vote for sustainable land use, a vote for your neighbors and your community. When you support domestic agriculture, you help to ensure that the food on our table is safe, dependable, and grown under the highest environmental and labor standards in the world. Buying local is not just an act of commerce, it's an act of community. And what better way to highlight community than at today's Farm City Week event? When you shop at a farmer's market, choose Florida-grown tomatoes or Manatee County grown tomatoes. Or enjoy strawberries grown just a few miles from your home, you keep dollars circulating in your local economy. You strengthen your family farm. You help preserve landscapes and make Manatee County unique. As you contribute to a more resilient supply chain, one that doesn't depend on distant countries or long shipping routes. Agriculture built this county. It sustains us today. And with the support of informed, engaged consumers like yourselves, it will continue to nourish us for generations to come. I encourage each of you to get to know your farmers. Look for Fresh from Florida labels. Visit local markets. Choose American-grown goods. Teach your children where their food comes from and why that's important. Because when we support local agriculture, we are not just supporting farms, we're supporting the future of Manatee County and the future of the state of Florida. I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you today. There are many familiar faces in the crowd, several who have served on advisory committees with me at Farm Bureau in the room, a cattleman that's good friends with my husband and an industry that we share and love. I appreciate getting to meet all of you today. I wish you luck in your future endeavors. God bless you and your family, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you again, Jamie. We really appreciate you coming all the way from Gainesville to speak to us today. It's just a pleasure to see you, and thank you again, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. Okay, let's get down to some business. All right. So we are going to announce our outstanding agriculturalist of the year. I know last year, boy, did I get the Keem brothers good last year. They had no idea. And Jimmy, I wanted to say something to Jimmy when he came in, but Jimmy, you're off the hook, so you feel comfortable. So congratulations to you and your brother, because you are reigning agriculturalist of the year, and thank you so much for all you guys have done. So today, I am very proud to announce the agriculturalist of the year for 2025. For many years, during Farm City Week, we look back and recount the leadership of men and women who have come before us as trailblazers in the field of agriculture. And I saw the 4-H agent here a little bit ago, and then Ms. Kennedy talked about FFA, but I'm going to steal a little bit from each one of those wonderful agriculturally based organizations to say we steal from the 4-H motto and the FFA creed that these folks that came before us dedicated their lives to make the best better, which comes from the 4-H motto, because they believed in the future of agriculture, which comes from the FFA creed. So we are gathered here today to remember these folks and the ideals in which they lived, along with the devotion they gave to our community, and the standing which Manatee County has enjoyed in Florida's ag industry over the last 100+ years. From lawyers to dentists, college professors, county extension agents, cattlemen, and farmers of all commodities. They are here with us today, awaiting the news of who will join their ranks in a place of prominence among their peers. So let me just take just a moment just to read you the criteria for this award. It says the general information says any Manatee County citizen may nominate an individual to be considered for inclusion in the Manatee County Agricultural Hall of Fame. Individuals may be nominated while living or posthumously. Nominations must be made on this application form. Nominees may be individuals, couples, family members, or business partners. Each entity nominated must meet the criteria detailed below. So the criteria says for the selection and induction into the Manatee County Agricultural Hall of Fame are documented contributions made by the individual to the Manatee County agricultural agribusiness industry. Contributions will have had the effect of one or more of the following elements: expanding the economic impact of the industry, increasing the quality of a particular commodity or commodities, expanding per-unit productivity through new ideas or innovative methods, discovering and or initiating new agricultural products or commodities, making significant contributions in related fields such as legislation, finance and credit, journalism, public service, farm youth, education and research, veterinary medicine, farm machinery, feed, seed, fertilizer, water and soil conservation, or any other area which significantly impacted the agricultural industry in a positive way. Well, our person far exceeds those things, so we got nothing to worry about. So that's the criteria. So keep that in mind if you think of someone in the future to nominate. So from the depths of the Great Depression to the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, farmers are a group of people that have several special traits that run through their veins. They have dedication, they have fortitude, resolve, patience, and audaciousness, just to name a few. In our day and age, we find there is another trait that has risen to the top of the list. With all of the obstacles that are placed in front of our Manatee farmers, the word resilience has become the moniker for today's Florida farm families. The word resilience means having the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. The person we are recognizing today personifies the word resilience. So a little bit about our person. Can't get too detailed yet. Our recipient was born in Manatee County. Our recipient went to school in Manatee County and graduated from a local high school. Our recipient does have a college degree. Our recipient has been involved in agriculture their whole life. So throughout the last 100 years, Manatee County agriculturalists have had to deal with events that they did not have control over, just like Ms. Jamie just said in her topic. They don't have control of everything that happens. From great freezes that destroyed crops overnight, to insects and diseases that have come in from other countries. All these perils have taken their toll on our crops and livestock in our county. These setbacks have caused a good number of farmers to take a step back and reevaluate their operations and set a new course to make ends meet and keep their farming traditions alive. I'm going to give you just an example of one. In 1892, Walter Lane Preston of Rhode Island formed the Manatee Lemon Company and in Palmetto to produce lemons for northern markets. And as the trees became mature and started to produce, there came a severe freeze in 1907 that killed the lemons all the way down to the rootstock. So Mr. Preston had navels and other sweet oranges grafted to the rootstocks, and then the Manatee Fruit Company came into existence. Our recipient is no stranger to setbacks and reverses in his family's farming pursuits, but has always found a way to forge ahead. From the citrus canker disease that was found in Manatee County in the 1980s to the destructive HLB, or citrus greening disease that we're battling now, with all of our citrus growers in the state battling it, our recipient has been determined to meet the challenges and form a new road for his company, with foresight and a willingness to look for other opportunities in markets throughout the world for their commodities. Our recipient is a fourth-generation agriculturalist that not too many years ago headed one of the largest gladiola growing operations in North America until a gladiola rust disease forced the company to destroy all of the bulb stock to prevent the disease from spreading. Our recipient is a community leader who not only lives and works in the county, but has played an integral part by serving on local boards for the betterment of our society. He has served in the Boys and Girls Club Foundation Board, the Boys and Girls Club Board, as director of the Manatee County Farm Bureau, and the Manatee County Chamber EDC Board, just to name a few. It says on their company website now known as Manatee Farms. We are a fourth-generation family-owned business rooted in tradition, yet driven by innovation. Manatee Farms is a world-renowned leader of ornamental cut flowers, foliage, and bedding plants. And if I'm not mistaken, he told me not long ago that the Manatee Fruit Company is the 6th oldest continually owned company in the state of Florida. A quote found in one of the supporting letters states, and I quote, "Being a dedicated member and the leader of a multi-generational company, Mr. Preston has fostered growth in numerous areas through his active involvement in outside organizations and in his ability to adapt to changing times," unquote. It is clear to see that generations of the Preston family have been instilled with deep agricultural roots and commitment to agriculture, which will carry the Manatee name well into the future. So it is my honor and privilege to introduce our 2025 Outstanding Agriculturalist, Mr. Whiting Hayden Preston. Congratulations. You're welcome. You got some vendors over here too.
Well, wow. This is a surprise to me. Mike asked me to come to the lunch today to look at being on a panel. Just Mike's a stinker. He's also my neighbor, so and a great guy. Well, thank you very much for this recognition. This is really, really nice. My family and my parents were very thankful to them. It's sort of part of your soul, and agriculture. You sort of can't. Once you get into it, it's a bug that bites you, and you're going to be involved for life. And it's been a wonderful. It's been a journey, I will tell you. It's not always as bad as the canker and the gladiola rust. It's actually had some really, really high times, and we've enjoyed all of it. Well, being agriculturalist of the year, I think there's some people on Cortez Road that might think differently about that. But nonetheless, I grew up on that farm. I've grown up on the farm. My family has been a big part of that. So this is a wonderful recognition. Thank everyone for that. I've met some wonderful people in the ag business. A lot of them are here today, and they're great to be around. They're some of the greatest people involved in agriculture, and it's quite a pleasure to be associated with it, and I appreciate everything. But thank you so much. Thank you also to the community for supporting us throughout the years. I'm very thankful for everything and where we are today. Thank you.
Let me give you a clap. Thanks. Great. Right there. Thank you there. Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Okay, congratulations, Mr. Preston. I can't call him Whiting. And he gets on to me about it different times too, so it's still going to be Mr. Preston, so. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Mullis to come up real. Got something for him. Mr. Mullis, on behalf of the Farm City Week Committee, we'd like to present you with this Farm City Week mug, and thank you for all of your dedication and service to our county and our Farm City Week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Jamie, we have something for you too. Christy's going to be jealous of this mug. So it is a Bradenton Kiwanis tradition to present our speakers with a golden ruler to measure your future success. So we have one for our wonderful MC, Miss Let's step over here for a minute. We get Mr. Mayor.
Come over here first.
And one for Jamie. That was great, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming today, and congratulations again to Mr. Preston. That's a wonderful accomplishment. To the members of this year's Leadership Manatee class, you have an open invitation to join us on any Tuesday at noon for the rest of the program year, so please come back and see us. To the rest of today's guests, if you're interested in joining, just find anyone with a badge, and we'd be happy to, badge over here again, and we'd be happy to help you find out how to become a member. And for our members, don't forget, board meeting tomorrow, no luncheon next week, and if some of you can hang around and help us pick up the chairs and tables, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and a wonderful Thanksgiving. Meeting adjourned.